Well, I'm hearing it everywhere. I mean, on YouTube, on social media, on CNBC, on all the TV shows everywhere, that if you own Tesla stock, you're honestly basically screwed. And unfortunately, there is some actual truth in that statement there, so it's something we have to talk about, guys. Sorry, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna tell you, rainbows and unicorns and hey, Tesla's going to, 600 by the end of the year or anything like that. I'm sorry, I gotta keep it real with you guys. So if you enjoy that and you like that sort of content, make sure you like the video, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I mean, if you like the truth and you like reality, this is definitely the channel for you. If you want, hype projections up to the moon, or you want fear and deer and gloom and everything else all the way down to zero, then this probably is the channel for you. But if you're not into that sort of stuff, make sure you're subscribed. All right, so the first way you're screwed with Tesla stock is because you don't actually know what you own. I mean, I'm sorry, watching a couple YouTube videos isn't gonna cut it. Do you understand the long-term opportunity with this stock? Do you understand what Tesla actually does, what their numbers actually are, and what they're actually doing and what they're actually trying to achieve in the future? Do you understand how the stock market works in general and how stocks work in general in the first place, so that way you can accurately look at the financial statements and look at everything else that's going on with the stock, listen to the earnings call, look at all the other disclosures, and actually see what's happening with this company and understand what's happening with this company, not only now, but in the past as well, and where you think they're going in the future, so you have intimate knowledge of what you actually own. A lot of people buy stocks like Tesla because, hey, everybody at the office is buying Tesla and everybody's making a lot of money, so I'm gonna buy Tesla too. And I was watching this guy on YouTube and he was really, really cool and he had really, really cool hair. And he said Tesla was going to like 800 or something like that, and he has really good hair. So why the heck wouldn't I listen to him? I mean, that makes perfect sense, right? I need to invest. That obviously a stock I need to buy, right? And that works great when, stocks basically did nothing but go up the past couple of years, but that's not going to work whenever reality actually comes back to the stock market there. You have to understand what you own, or else you are going to be gripped with fear as the stock price continues to decline, and you have no idea why, what you own, and what the actual long-term opportunity is with this stock. And this applies to every stock, guys. If you don't know what you own, you are just asking to get totally punished whenever the stock price does eventually correct down for every stock. My favorite Apple, it's going to correct down this year. It has been correcting down. It's going to continue to correct down because it got itself overvalued, and it needs to come down to that fair valuation and then down below fair valuation because of the environment we're in right now. But I know exactly what I own with Apple, so I haven't cared one bit. As a matter of fact, I'm getting kind of, juicy, I don't know, whatever, you're foaming at the mouth, waiting to buy more Apple because it's been a long time since I've been able to add to that stock, and it's my favorite stock, so I want to add some shares. But that only happens if you know exactly what you own. So the second way you're probably screwed if you own Tesla is if you don't know how to do a valuation, so you have no idea what it's actually worth. Again, it's not going to cut it to watch a YouTube video or two or punch in something in a little calculator online that somebody's selling you for, 25, 35, 45 bucks or whatever the case is, and it spits out a number, and then, hey, right there's fair valuation. There's a lot more to valuation than just putting in numbers into a formula and seeing what it spits out on the other end. And guess what? Valuation is not a science. It's more of an art, which means all of us are going to be all over the map with what we think fair value is for Tesla. Now, obviously, as you get into stocks like, an Apple per se, or some of the old man stocks, or some of the stocks that have been around forever, where you basically have a long history you can look back on and see exactly what the market is willing to pay for fair value, those are a little bit easy to value. But either way, you have to understand valuation in the first place, and you have to understand valuation isn't perfect in the first place. That's why everybody has a different price target, right? All the analyst price targets kind of seem to be all over the map depending upon how they choose to value a stock. And a stock like Tesla, as divisive it is, means if you're going to follow this person or that person or listen to this person or listen to that person, man, you're going to get ideas all over the map as to what fair value is for Tesla. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like other people having influence over me and what something is valued. I want to know what I own and know what the value actually is and what, I basically place a premium on. And I personally like to be a little bit conservative in my valuation, which in the past has got me hammered whenever I put out something like I think, a price target for Tesla is here or there or whatever the case is. And I get hammered because especially when it was on its crazy run, because I'm not as bullish as some of the other guys are who had these really, really high price targets. Well, I like to be conservative. That's just kind of the way. If I get extra, hey, I hope it hits some of those guys' price targets. I promise. I hope it hits Kathy Wood and all the other, YouTubers out there that have these really, really high price targets. I hope that it does. I stand to make a lot of money if it does. However, I know that's kind of more of a bullish scenario, and I like to be more conservative and be surprised on that other end. But if you have no idea how to come up with a valuation in the first place, you're honestly going to start thinking that those, mega bull cases are actual, those are the most likely scenarios, when obviously it may happen, but it's not necessarily the most likely, and you won't know that, and then you're going to be severely disappointed and be trying to make decisions and decide on whether, oh, is Tesla stock dead? Now all of a sudden, this YouTuber who was bullish is now bearish, and now they're saying, oh my gosh, maybe you need to sell, maybe you need to do this, maybe you need to do that, whatever the case is, and you may be more susceptible to that because you never did a valuation in the first place to understand exactly what the value you placed on it was. You got to learn how to do valuations. You got to learn how to do due diligence to the last point there. If you don't know how to do it, join my group. If you don't want to join my group, I got it. No worries. You can get it all for free. Just a Google search or a YouTube search up in the YouTube bar. But you have to get this information. You have to know how to do it. Which this tells perfectly into number 3, which is you listen to everyone except your actual due diligence. So obviously I know a lot of you guys, and hopefully the vast majority of you guys did do your due diligence on, Tesla stock. You understand what you own. You understand what fair value is, but you're still not actually listening to your due diligence that you did in the first place. You become susceptible to what other people say is going on with the stock and where it's going and all that sort of stuff. And hey, that's all right whenever everything was just buy the dip, Tesla to the moon, because you would just buy and then it would just go up. But now in this kind of market, not listening to your due diligence and instead listening to other people, basically had you buying at all-time highs and then selling at a loss and then buying it again and then selling it again and then humping the floor and then jumping up and buying it again and then selling it again and then buying it here and it's going there and shorting here and putting a put there and all the other craziness that just happened around Tesla stock this year, especially on YouTube. I mean, the media was ridiculous. But on YouTube, it was just crazy. I mean, you had people that were basically consistent long-term buy and hold investors, now trading, now having this strategy and that strategy and all these other things going on with it. If you listen to all that, you have been in chaos for over a year now. Instead, you have to listen to your own due diligence that you put all that work into and stick to your plan and not worry about what the price action is doing or what I'm saying Tesla is going to or what somebody else is saying Tesla is going to or anything else like that, because it doesn't take into account your plan, how much money you have to invest, how much money comes in every week or every month for you to invest, when you need to buy, when you need to sell, what do you need this money for? Do you need it, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years from now? What was your plan with it in the first place? All those sort of things, I can't account for you. Yours is going to be totally different than mine and vice versa. The reasons why I'm doing things are going to be different than you, and the reason why another YouTuber is doing something is going to be completely different from you as well. You put in all that work, and it's okay to listen to somebody and maybe question your work and maybe go back and, hey, let me look at this again and make sure I understand exactly what's going on here and make sure I'm not missing something. But when you start kind of getting away from your due diligence and you get more into that, I'm going to listen to other folks there, you're just in for chaos. And this year has proved that the chaos is just unbelievable. Seriously, guys, everybody's making 9,247 different predictions. And of course, they're going to be right on some. So then they're going to come back here a year from now and try to tell you, hey, look, I was right all along. Look, I said it was going to do this and it was going to do this. And they're going to forget about the other 947 things that they told you in the meantime. I don't know, guys. I don't understand it. I just know you did the work. You put in your due diligence. You put in that time. Stick with that. And number 4 would be you are trying to time the market with Tesla stock. There's never been a large cap stock that moves like Tesla. At least I haven't seen it in my 20 plus years of investing in the stock market. It is just out of control. And let me give you a prime example here. Elon can flush the toilet and Tesla stock goes up 20%. Especially, a year or two ago, that was exactly the case. And now it seems like Tesla can hit records and everything's going into the toilet. Now, I got it. Everybody's out there telling you they can time the market and they know where Tesla's going and they know where that's going to happen and all that good stuff like that. Except for everybody who I saw that said Tesla was going down. The reason why they said it was going down is not actually what happened, right? I mean, at the beginning of the year last year, or even, March or so, nobody had Elon selling, billions of dollars worth of Tesla to buy Twitter. Nobody had that on the radar, right? And then I'm pretty sure nobody knew that Elon would just go hog wild on Twitter, basically, trolling people and turning into the biggest ultimate troll there for a little bit. Nobody had that on their radar. They had all kinds of other reasons why Tesla was going to go down, but it wasn't that, which shows you trying to time the market is absolutely useless, because even when you're right, you're honestly kind of wrong because it didn't happen the way you thought it was going to happen. The example I gave to my group the other day was, hey, if I say, Apple stock is going to fall this earnings call, because iPhone sales are going to be really, really weak. So I think, Apple's going to miss and they're going to get beaten down. And then it comes out on the earnings call that they actually had a huge, iPhone sales were just through the roof, absolutely crushed it better than expected. But Tim Cook was caught up in a scandal of some sort. And that's the reason why, Apple fell, and it was announced on the earnings day. And that's the reason why Apple fell after hours, basically shot up and then cratered after that because of that. Was my prediction right? Yeah, the end result was right, but I was guessing that iPhone sales were going to be terrible and they were great. and something else came along and, kind of saved my bacon per se and showed me being right. Look, I said it was going down. Look at what it did. See, let's just ignore the fact that I said it was iPhone sales. The Tim Cook thing over here happened instead. That's exactly what market timers do, because it's so hard to time the market accurately over any length of time. And if it was so easy to do, why is it that all the all-time greats, and you go through the greatest investors of all time, they're not traders, they're long-term buy and hold investors, guys like Warren Buffett, Peter Lynch, guys like that are the ones that constantly say, nobody can time the market. We have no idea what the market's going to do in the short term. We just know long term, these are great buys on great companies. They're going to do very well over the long run. And then they even admit, we're not going to bat 100. We're not going to guess them all right. We're going to get more right than we're going to get wrong, though. And we're going to make a lot of money. Those guys seem to be the greatest investors ever. And those guys, all of them have addressed it thousands of times. Nobody can time the market, so I don't know why people still think they can continually time the market. And forget about timing the market. Thinking you can time the market with a stock like Tesla, to me, that's just crazy. It moves wild and unlike any other stock that's ever existed in the history of the stock market, in my opinion, at least for a large cap stock like that. So that makes it even more unpredictable and even harder for you to actually guess and get right. And the final reason why you're totally screwed if you own Tesla stock is if you're not actually going through with your plan, or you don't have a plan at all in the first place. You have to take action on your plan. If your plan was to start buying Tesla around $120 or so and continue to DCA down as it continued to fall, or you wanted to add 100 shares or whatever the case was, you got to be willing to execute and pull the trigger and not play the game of, yeah, my analysis told me this was a great price, but it might go lower, so let me wait just a little bit. That might work for a day or two, or even, in this case, it seems like, man, you just waited like a week and you got a 20% discount on Tesla there for a little while. But the point is, that's not how you accurately work through your plan over the long run. What ends up happening is you end up never investing, period, because you wait until now and then it runs up and then you get FOMO, then you're not realizing that it's overbought and then it's going to come back down. That's what happened to people over the summertime, right? Everybody, when it hit its June low over the summertime, right around $200 or so, there's a lot of people like, it could go lower, it could go lower, it could go lower. Yeah, you're right, it eventually did, 6 months later or so. But in the meantime, it went back up to $300, got up over $300 there for a little bit, and people FOMO'd in at 300 just to see it fall all the way back down to 120. If you just would have followed your plan in the first place and bought at 210 and then, okay, it ran up, all right, hey, got a little bit of run there, I'm going to wait for a little bit of a pullback. You could have then bought that dip as it went down the second time around. Just a nice simple DCA during that time would really allow you to lower that cost average from that 210. Obviously we're getting a steal. I thought it was steal at 210. Obviously now we're getting a great deal under $110 or so. And obviously if it goes under 100, it's an even greater opportunity there. But I'm not trying to time the market. I'm not trying to do anything else. I'm just sticking to my plan, which was when it hit undervalued territory, I was going to continue to buy a Tesla as much as I could with my allocations that are coming in, basically monthly, my monthly allocations that come in for me to invest in the stock market. And I'm going to continue to buy that stock. Sorry, I wasn't able to buy it last year. It was at all-time highs and I knew it was overvalued. There was no reason to buy it then. But now that it's in this territory, I'm not going to not execute my plan because it might go lower or something else like that. And obviously, if you don't have a plan in the first place, then you're just stuck in that chaos, right? Then you are almost forced to listen to other people, which throws you right into that chaos kind of vortex per se, because you don't have a plan. So you have nothing to go off of. So if you're doing these 5 things, you are probably screwed if you own Tesla stock. I got to be honest there. And if you want help with all 5 of these, valuations, how to create a plan, how to do all that sort of stuff, make sure you check out the link in the pinned comment down there and see if our group's right for you. See all the different things you get, all the Q&As, all the courses that you can take. We got 5 courses on there you can take for free. You see everything I do in real time. You get my watch list with price targets. Guys, it's one of the best values, if not the best value out there. I don't know anybody that's giving you this much content for that price. Again, check it out. It's the pinned comment down below. And click this video here if you want to see what stocks I'm buying in this market. And click down here if you want to see exactly what I'm doing in this market. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.